Roll. Da sind sie nebeneinander zu zweit. Zum Glück.
It's the penultimate round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany 2022 season. Championship leader Laurin Heinrich starts on pole position, but this is the track that bites. Welcome to the Sachsenring, everybody. Track conditions are absolutely perfect. There's a bit of an autumnal feel in the air, but the temperature is 17.7 degrees air temperature, 15 degrees track temperature. There is our pole sitter, Laurin Heinrich, the only driver who was able to get it into the 120s in qualifying this morning, a 120.951. He was the class of the field. But as previously mentioned, this is a track that is really tough to tame. A driver who had a great qualifying session. He had one of his laps discounted. He had got up into P2, then had to do it all again, having had a lap discounted, and he did it all again. Luke Hartog lining up second on the grid. A great job from him. Also a great job from Maurice Schering, hoping to put the memories of a traumatic Sachsenring behind him. He lines up third on the grid. The number 14 driver, one of the real up-and-coming superstars in Carrera Cup Germany. One of the existing superstars, one of the most successful ever, the most successful ever, Larry 10 Forder, who lines up fourth on the grid. He is the defending champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, and he is trying to defend this championship this year, but that pesky Laurin Heinrich is leading him in the points. Lorcan Hannafin, who's joined the series this year, currently leading the rookie standings, and he has been at the sharp end of the pack during all of the practice and test sessions here at the Sachsenring. Despite the fact he's never visited this place before, he has scored very well indeed, fifth on the grid. Sixth, that man there, Dylan Pereira, and that's quite a long way back for him because he really wants to challenge Laurin Heinrich for that title and add it to the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup title that he won last weekend at Monza. He would love to add the Carrera Cup Germany title to his tally as well. Very much unfinished business in his book. Seventh on the grid, that man there, 57, Rudy van Buren. He is, of course, the Red Bull Formula One team sim test and development driver, and he enjoys Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. He has been one of the many young superstars, perhaps the one that's made the most headlines. That man there, Bastian Buus. He is the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup champion, rookie champion, having won 2 races this year for them. He has also taken his first win in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. That was back in June at Imola. He would love to add to that, but he's a long way back on the grid by his standings. Alex Fack, another driver who's joined the grid this year for Fack Autotech, and he lines up behind Bastian Buus on the row behind him in the number 8 car. Huub van Eindhoven is that car there, the green number 29 car. He is very much in the rookie championship fight, as indeed is Alex Fack that we just saw. They trail Lorcan Hannafin. Lorcan Hannafin leading the way with 229 points. Huub van Eindhoven 15 points behind with 214. I think it's fair to say that Alex Fack would need some fairly big disasters to befall the cars in front because he is 64 points adrift. Alex Tauscher is fourth in the rookie standings. He is 77 points adrift. Again, enjoying his first season in Carrera Cup Germany. We saw him in ADAC GT4 Germany last year. A real entertainer he was too. And we've really enjoyed having him here in Carrera Cup Germany this year. Still looking for his first podium, a 5th place, as Zandvoort being his best result of the season so far. Jukka Honkavori lines up next on the grid for ID Racing. And just a quick mention of ID Racing, they have a guest driver on the grid. That would be the number 43 car of Willem Meyer, the 23-year-old Dutch driver who raced in Porsche Mobile One Super Cup at Spa, finished a very credible 17th. Was also last year's BMW M2 Cup champion. Unfortunately, had a torrid time in qualifying, ending up in the barriers. So starting from the near on the back of the pack, there's Ariel Levy. Ariel Levy, there we are, get it right in the end, who lines up further, kind of mid-order on the pack. And there is Carlos Rivas. He is the defending Pro-Am champion, and he is the leading Pro-Am driver on the grid. The number 6 car, who lines up on the inside of the 8th row, 15th on the grid. His main challenger is Jan-Erik Sloten. Jan-Erik Sloten, who leads the Pro-Am category by 32 points from Carlos Rivas. And Sloten is quite a long way back. He's on row 11, 21st on the grid. So Sloten's got a lot of work to do there. This is a great opportunity for Carlos Rivas to close up that gap in the Pro-Am Championship. He had a horrible time at Sachsenring in both races the last time out, and it saw the gap in the points increase dramatically in the direction that he didn't want. Carlos Rivas in that 2nd place. And he will be looking to make hay while the sun shines, quite literally here at the Sachsenring, as he looks to close in on that championship on Jan-Erik Sloten. There are 100 points still available this season, 25 points for a win in each category, so 25 points for an overall win, 25 points for the highest finishing rookie, and 25 points for the highest finishing Pro-Am driver. If I didn't mention it already, Lorcan Hannafin does lead the rookie championship. SSR Huber Racing also lead the team championship. We're at the Sachsenring. It is a circuit that is 3.671 kilometers around. That's a little over 2.28 miles. 14 turns, 4 to the right and 10 to the left. Unusually, it's one of only 2 tracks where we run in an anti-clockwise direction. Feature of this track, lots of undulation, a 12.8% climb going into turn 14, and tyre wear is a massive issue. This track eats tyres for breakfast, dinner and tea. Degradation is everything. Looking after the tyres and going the distance will be critical. Go too hard, too soon, you're going to end up in all sorts of problems. Let's take a proper look at the starting grid. It is Lauren Heinrich on pole position. A great job from Luke Hartog, who lines up for Black Falcon alongside. Row 2 of the grid, Maurice Schering for SSR Huber alongside defending champion Larry Ten Forder. Row 3, Lorcan Hannafin leading rookie, Dylan Pereira alongside, looking to move forwards from there. And on row 4, Rudy Van Buren and Bastian Boos lining up 8th for Allied Racing. Row 5, Alexander Fack and Huub van Eindhoven, the main challenger, in alongside him. Row 10, Lucas Grunewald guesting for HRT Performance. And on row 12 of the grid, Jesse Van Kijk and Georgi Donchev, another of the many Huber racing cars. Sebastian Framert on row 13 with Jonas Greif, another Huber racing car. And then Christoph Langer, we welcome back Holger Harmsen. Welcome back, Holger, after injury. Good to have him back. The guesting William Meyer and Harold Prochik, who got a penalty in qualifying and lines up at the rear of the pack. Jan Seifert is listed. Haven't seen whether he is starting yet in the number 98 car, but he will start last if he is. He may choose to start from the pit lane. We'll keep you updated on that one. The cars are now on to the grid. A bit of heat into the tyres. There is our pole sitter, Lauren Heinrich. The tension absolutely rising there in the cockpit of that car. The silence will fall, and then the epic sound of 31 Porsches with the revs rising. It will be deafening. There's a massive crowd here at the Sachsenring this weekend to witness this. Race 13 of a 16-race season for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. There is Jan Seifert, who does line up last on the grid in the number 98 car. We are getting to the business end of the championship. Everybody wants to catch that man there, the number 3 of Lauren Heinrich. It will be a drag race down to the very tricky turn 1. The revs of the cars rise. We are waiting for those red lights to go out, and we are go. Away we go. All the cars off. A bit of contact. Larry Ten Forder bouncing off Maurice Schering further back. Luke Hartog getting swallowed by the pack is Lauren Heinrich, who leads into turn 1. Here comes Schering on the outside, but problems further back. That looked like Lorcan Hannafin and Huub van Eindhoven. the two rookie championship challengers. Eindhoven coming off the worst is Lauren Heinrich, who's leading the way. I said that Hartog got swallowed up, but he's back up into second. So Luke Hartog into second, Larry Tenforder into third. Those tricky first corners. You could see that Lorcan Hannafin is under investigation for a jump start. So the rest of the cars continuing on their way. Lauren Heinrich winning the jump off pole position. Luke Hartog in second. Larry Tenforder up to third. Maurice Schuring down to fourth. And then Bastian Buser looks like a great start from the number 99 car ahead of Alex Fack. I thought that was Huub van Eindhoven that had done the rallycross. I don't think it was, because he's up there at the sharp end of the pack. So another of the green cars, I think, that run off into the gravel track. So here come the rest of the field. As they cross the line, we will get a better indication of who had dropped back at the start. It's certainly Heinrich who's leading the way. Bastian Buus already challenging his fellow talent pool driver. The drags race along the pit straight and out towards turn one, and it's Bastian Buus on the outside. He had a very poor qualifying session and a challenge for second place as well. Larry Tenforder through, but Luke turning back to the inside, and Luke Hartog fighting for that second place. There's a fight also for fourth place, and it goes the way of Bastian Buus. Again, Larry Tenforder in front of Luke Hartog. Hartog still fighting back with the number 25 car, then a gap back to Bastian Buus. The rest of the cars coming through. So it was Rudy van Buren who was the green car that got onto the gravel, not Huub van Eindhoven. We've also got a couple of cars under investigation for a jump start. That'll be Ariel Levy and Jukka Honkavori. So the stewards taking a look at that. It was a messy start. So as you were, all the Huub van Eindhoven supporters, he is still very much in the running, but Lorcan Hannafin, a very poor start for him, all the way down in 22nd place. His main challengers in the rookie championship, Alex Fack and Huub van Eindhoven, running 6th and 7th, and Alex Tauscher also in the rookie championship in 8th place. So Lorcan Hannafin, after such a positive experience with practice and qualifying here, not having a great time in the race. Another driver who's dropped back a long way, Dylan Pereira, all the way back in 15th place. So Dylan Pereira, a big drop for him, and he's going to have to work his way back through the traffic. Suddenly, it'll feel like the championship is slipping away from him as Ariel Levy moves to the inside of Lucas Oertel, and that is for 10th place. And that is out towards the Castrol turn, which is turn 4. So the car's settling down. It is 30 minutes of racing plus 1 lap. And it is Lauren Heinrich who leads the way by 0.8 of a second over Larry Tenforder, the defending champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Luke Hartog down into 3rd place. Bastian Buus making up for what was a tough old qualifying session this morning. Up to 4th, we've got a car in that looks like Holger Harmsen. It is Holger Harmsen into the gravel trap. Now, if he can't get this moving, this is going to bring out a safety car. So we welcome back Holger Harmsen after a period of rehabilitation after that accident at Spa, and that car is not going anywhere. The safety car is deployed, and the cars are going to be brought back to a crawling pace, so the number 69 car can be retrieved, and that gives us a chance just to weigh up all that has gone on. So, safety car is out, the clock keeps running. Let's have a look, see what happened. Harmsen very much out on his own on the Castrol turn, just losing it, spinning out onto the gravel. It is great to have Holger back on the grid. He has undergone a lot of surgery and is currently wearing a certain amount of metal within his body, supporting his spine as a result of the injury that he picked up at Spa, and his only dream has been to get back out on the track. That has been his motivation for rehabilitation, and it's been great to welcome him back, but not quite the way that he hoped today would end. He gets to do it all again tomorrow, but at the moment he's stranded in the gravel trap and he is being retrieved by the breakdown crew. So let's just take stock as we look at the start. We didn't see the very start, but a number of cars being adjudged to have jumped the start. You saw that Luke Hartog got a dreadful start. He was swallowed up by the pack, but then took a much tighter line into turn 2, while the rest of them were doing a little bit of stock car racing into the gravel. That was Rudy Van Buren, who ran out wide. And there is the view from Lorcan Hannafin. And you can see it was 3 abreast as they headed in towards turn 1. And then a great move from Hartog. He just kept it together, and that is why Dylan Pereira dropped back through the pack. It was him who got together with Rudy Van Buren. And you could see that Schuring had cut across, and there was the sandwich with Larry Tenforder in there as well, and Luke Hartog on the inside. And there was Dylan Pereira locking up, and that was where Buren went off into the gravel. And actually, Larry Tenforder getting a little bit airborne as he got together with Maurice Schuring. Some real elbows out racing here. This is the view from Huub van Eindhoven. And actually, he was the one who really kept it together to the inside of Alex Fack into turn 1. The view from Dylan Pereira. This will be a little bit more bruising. There's Rudy Van Buren on his outside. And that's where they got together. I think Pereira, whether he got a helping hand or not, this will be interesting. There was a closing gap that Larry Tenforder was going for, and he squeezes his way through and then into this difficult off-camber turn 1. Maurice Schuring on his outside, and then this is the bit where up he goes, back down again. Doesn't look as though he's got any damage, but hard to say. And he somehow picks it all up together and is able to find a route past Luke Hartog as well. So a very lively opening lap. That took a bit of sorting out, didn't it? In terms of the Pro-Am category, Carlos Rivas leads the way, 13th on the track. Soren Spreng is 2nd, 16th on the track. Jan-Erik Sloten is 17th and 3rd in category on the track. Georgi Donchev is next. There's Holger Harmsen, who has been retrieved. I'm not entirely sure whether he would be allowed to rejoin. He probably will be, but he is 2 laps down, so very much out of the running, whichever way you look at it. He may well join at the back of the pack. Having spent most of the year on the sidelines watching racing, I should think that Holger just wants to get the laps put in. The incidents that we have been looking at are all under investigation by our race stewards. There are no penalties that have been awarded to anybody as of yet. We are just waiting for notification, a safety car coming in. Expect that to be next time around, and then we will be back racing again. We have just under 22 minutes plus 1 lap of this race 13 of a 16 race season remaining for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. The safety car leading the cars around the Castrol turn, which is turn 3 up towards turn 4 and 5. And we are expecting, yes, we have notification, safety car will be in on this lap, so the lights will go out on that car, and it will be the job of Laurin Heinrich to lead the field across the line. Larry Tenforder, who has done more restarts behind a safety car than you or I have had hot dinners, will be looking to get the jump on Laurin Heinrich. Looking again at the start of the race from the perspective of Lorcan Hannafin. And you can see that closing gap. Larry Tenforder, well, he takes no prisoners. He says, no, I'm coming through. Gets the elbows out. Maurice Schuring says, you think? Suddenly Dylan Pereira appears on the scene. Cars are scattering, and Lorcan Hannafin caught up in that. And that is why he is currently loitering all the way down in 21st position. The car's coming down the part of the circuit that is called the waterfall. Guess why that is? Long drop for the cars. The lights are off on the safety car. Now Laurin Heinrich will back the field up, and he will go when he wants to go. Larry Tenforder will be looking to anticipate that start, but it's up to Laurin Heinrich when he hits accelerator, but he really is backing the pack up good and proper. There is a steep climb of 12.8% up towards turn 14. I think Larry Tenforder might be saying, come on, get on with it. Finally, Laurin says, yes, I'm on it. Hits the accelerator, they cross the line. We are back under green flag conditions. Laurin Heinrich ahead of Larry Tenforder. There's Carlos Rivas challenging That is on the outside of... No, Dylan Pereira actually challenging Carlos Rivas. So Pereira trying to come back through the field after that bad start. Carlos Rivas really looking to defend and to build some points to get back in the championship hunt in the Pro-Am category. So, single file at the moment. It looks like a bit of a gap between Hartog and Larry Tenford. And Morris Schering is there, as is Bastian Boos. Bastian Boos has made a great start to this race, up into 4th place from what was a low starting position. And you can see that Dylan Pereira continues to challenge. This time, it's Dan Van Kuyk who is ahead of him in 12th place. So he's dispatched Carlos Rivas. And now he is looking at Dan Van Kuyk, looking to work his way through. Dylan Pereira, he considers Porsche Carrera Cup Germany the title to be unfinished business. You can see from your graphic there, Lorcan Hannafin has a drive-through penalty for a jump start. This is absolutely disastrous for the rookie championship leader, because this is going to drop him all the way to the back of the pack. Oh, he was rolling long before the lights went out. So Lorcan Hannafin, a jump start, that is absolute disaster. That will add a good 30 seconds on to his lap time and will relegate him well out of the points and to the back of the pack. And that is utter disaster for the leader of the rookie championship. So Lorcan Hannafin with a drive-through penalty. So Dylan Pereira continues to fight his way back up through the pack. You're looking there at Jan-Erik Sloten, the Pro-Am driver in the very similar coloured car, and he is up to 3rd in category. And he actually has Carlos Rivas not too far in front of him. So Jan-Erik Sloten can see his main championship rival ahead of him, and of course he leads him in the points at the moment. Back to the front of the race is Lauren Heinrich, who leads Larry Tenforder by 0.659. So about 6.5 tenths over 2nd place. Luke Hartog in a solid 3rd place. Bastian Boos just behind him. The rest of the cars coming down the waterfall. You just saw Carlos Rivas there, and another drive-through penalty, this time for Dylan Pereira. Dylan Pereira causing a collision, and he gets a drive-through penalty as well. This is disastrous for Dylan Pereira. Coming into this race, he was 3rd in the championship, just 28 points behind Lauren Heinrich, but he will be furious about that. He is going to have to visit the pit lane. Let's have a look at that again. You can see Lorcan Hannafin with his jump start, how clear that was. He did start and stop again, but look at this, Dylan Pereira, he'd locked up into turn 1, and that's what caused the problems for Hannafin and Rudy Van Buren. But a drive-through penalty at this stage of the race, when the field are packed together, will relegate him to the back. Dylan Pereira, championship challenger, Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup champion, newly crowned. We said that Carrera Cup Germany was unfinished business. He's here to put that right. This will not help his cause whatsoever, because he is going to drop to the back of the pack when he takes that penalty. You can see that Lauren Heinrich has now opened up a gap over Larry Tenforder. Hartog in 3rd place. Behind him is a Bastian Boos. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just in shot there. So high drama indeed, as drivers given championship hits as they are awarded drive-through penalties, and that's Lorcan Hannafin and Dylan Pereira, those 2 drivers who are requested to visit the pit lane for a drive-through penalty. If they don't, then they're likely to get around 30 seconds added to their time when this race is done and dusted, and that will be disastrous for them. There's Kim-Andre Hausschild, and the guesting driver clearly in trouble. He's run wide. There's a bit of smoke coming from the car. The tyres look like they're all up. So the number 77 car was in 26th place. Let's have a look and see what happened. It was a lock-up into turn 1. He kept it out of the gravel, and that was where the smoke was coming from. It was from his tyres. And Kim Hausschild continues, but a long way back in the pack. Right, now look at this. Larry Tenforder in second place. Remember what we said about tyre preservation. Go too hard, too soon, you may pay the price later in the race. We are in the second half of the race, and yes, we have had an amount of it behind a safety car, but Larry Tenforder has now dropped back from Lauren Heinrich, and it looks to me like Luke Hartog has closed back in on Larry Tenforder. They crossed the line, and the gap between first and second is just a little under 2 seconds. So Lauren Heinrich really under control at the moment, but he's still got a little over 14 minutes plus 1 lap to go in this race to bring it home. Lots of challenges further back for position, and that is Richard Wagner and Georgi Donchev going wheel to wheel. So Wagner in 19th place, Donchev in 20th, challenging for position. In the number 95 car, Richard Wagner, with a big queue of cars behind him. Also Ahmed Al-Shihab, Harold Prochik, who had a great qualifying this morning, but then picked up a penalty and was relegated to the back of the pack. And there is the number 57 car that was doing the rallycross earlier on, Rudy Van Buren. He's made his way back up to 18th. Jesse Van Kooyk ahead of him. And then ahead of him is Jan-Erik Sloten in 16th place. So no major dramas at the moment. The race settles down. Dylan Pereira has served his drive-through penalty, as has Lorcan Hannafin, and it has dropped them to the back of the pack. The only driver that is behind them now is Holger Harmsen, who had that spin and had to retire. Well, he didn't retire, he just dropped 2 laps, so he is still running, Holger Harmsen. But Dylan Pereira in 29th, Lorcan Hannafin in 30th. So they are not going to be scoring any meaningful points in this race unless something very dramatic happens in the next 13 minutes or so. Rudy Van Buren, after the earlier issues, working his way back past Jesse Van Kooyk. And up into 17th place, but still out of the points. And there is another car running wide, this time number 5 of Zoran Spreng, and he's done that on his own. The Black Falcon car stranded on the outside of the corner. He's well off the racing line, so as long as he can get the thing running and get it moving again, we should be okay. But has he got a problem? Is the car stranded? So the number 5 car, and it looks like he's not going anywhere. The door's open, the driver is waving, he says he needs a hand. This is surely gonna bring out another safety car, and it could be the 2.297 second lead that Lauren Heinrich has is wiped out. Larry Tenforder will be back on his back bumper. The safety car is out. The cars are brought back once again to a crawling pace. Now, it looked to me like it got out there all on his own on the Castrol turn. Car just turning around. And whether there was a mechanical issue that put him out there, whatever it was, he's not going any further, and he is going to need assistance to get the car off the track. The number 5 of Zoran Spreng for Black Falcon, now pointing in the wrong direction and awaiting recovery. So as the safety car is out, it's Lauren Heinrich who leads the way, but that gap that was actually nearly 3 seconds by the time the safety car out will be gone. And Larry Tenforder and Luke Hartog and Bastian Boos and Maurice Schuring and Alex Fack will all be back on his back bumper. Huub van Eindhoven, Alex Tauscher also there as well. And this will help enormously with any drivers that are struggling with tyre degradation. Of course, running behind the safety car, putting a lot less pressure on the tyres. It will also help Dylan Pereira and Lorcan Hannafin to a degree, because it closes them up to the back of the pack. And they are still on the lead lap, but they are still going to struggle to get back up into the points in what will be just a few minutes once this car has been cleared and we're back under green flag conditions. So the cars continue to circulate in single file here at the Sachsenring. It's Laurin Heinrich. He came into this race with a lead of 26 points over Larry Tenforder. Larry Tenforder running second in this race. Third coming into this was Dylan Pereira. He was 28 points behind Laurin Heinrich and just 2 behind Larry Tenforder. Well, unless something dramatic happens, that gap is going to grow significantly. And Bastian Buus was in 4th place. Luke Hartog in 5th, Maurice Schuring in 6th. So, championship standings, it looks like Heinrich will be able to increase that gap if things remain very much as they are. A little bit of a gap there for the cars to squeeze through, while the number 5 car of Soren Spreng is retrieved from the track. And the rest of the cars now just running in single file, just trying to keep the heat in the tyres. So the headlines of the race, it was Laurin Heinrich who started on pole position with Luke Hartog alongside. A lot of bumping and barging into the first corner. A certain amount of it, well, the stewards judged that Dylan Pereira was responsible for much of it, and he received a drive-through penalty. Lorcan Hannafin, a little bit eager out of the blocks. He stopped, he started, then he stopped, then he started again, but that was judged to be a jump start. He too got a drive-through penalty, so Pereira and Hannafin dropped to 28th and 29th respectively. Larry Tenforder found a route past Luke Hartog. Bastian Buus made good progress from his starting position of P8 and made it up to 4th, and Maurice Schuring in 5th. Our leading rookie is Alex Fack in 6th place, ahead of Huub van Eindhoven and Alex Tauscher. Our leading Pro-Am driver is Carlos Rivas, but he now has Jan-Erik Sloten behind him on the track, and Sloten knows that he has his main championship rival in front of him. Looking at a replay here. Oh, that wasn't done up very well, was it? And so the delay goes on a little bit further. Finally, they work out how to attach a car to another car and tow it off the circuit. Technology fails when you need it the least, and up this escape road it goes. The number 5 car dragged to safety. So the field of cars at the moment are up on turn 7. No notification safety car is coming in yet. It'd be nice if it did and we could get back to green flag conditions. Yes, it is. So safety car is in on this lap. So the race control reacting quickly to the removal of that car. So shortly the lights will go off on the safety car. And once again, Laurin Heinrich will back the pack up and make a break for it as they head up the very steep hill in towards turn 14. We will have 6.5 minutes plus 1 lap of this race remaining. Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, race 13. Down the waterfall they come once again. You can see the lights are off on the safety car. Laurin Heinrich looking pretty relaxed as he tries to get some heat into the tyres, make sure everything is done up tightly. Take a quick look back in your mirrors at Larry Tenforder, who will be menacing him up towards 14. And that is the view from Larry Tenforder's perspective as he sees the weaving SSR Huber Racing Porsche in front of him. Would he give him another hurry up into 14? Well, likely. Now Laurin Heinrich hits the accelerator, but Larry Tenforder has anticipated it well. As they head along past the pits, this is going to be Tenforder's opportunity in towards turn 1. Tenforder to the outside, Heinrich moves to defend. He can only make one change of direction into the corner under braking. He goes deep. Now Tenforder is through. Larry Tenforder into the lead. Laurin Heinrich took the high road. Larry Tenforder took the low road. Around the Castrol turn, a little bit of a tap. Larry Tenforder goes wide. Heinrich is back. The 2 cars, the 2 drivers that have been battling all season long. The battle continues. Tenforder had the lead briefly, but now Heinrich back in front. front. Luke Hartog in third place. He knows if these two cars get together, he could pick up his first ever win in Carrera Cup Germany. He's holding back at the moment. What a great move from Larry Tenforder, but what a good move from Lauren Heinrich. Was there contact into the Castrol Omega turn 4? Well, we need to see a replay to be sure of that, but certainly it was as close as it gets in the last 5 minutes of racing in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, race 13. Lauren Heinrich, as you were, leading the way, but so close was Larry Tenforder. The two cars taking a very different line into turn 1. Now Tenforder probably a little bit too far back to repeat the move now. They head along past the pits. Slipstream time once again, but Larry Tenforder just too far back. That's Alex Fack having a little look on the inside of Huub van Eindhoven. He would dearly love to get back in front of him and do something about the rookie standings. That's Ariel Levy locking it up into turn 1, but keeps it all together. But that is Lucas Groneveld who spins around. Lucas Groneveld pointing in the wrong direction. He sees the rest of the pack come through. Rudy Van Buren making great progress, can I just point out, after the first lap antics. He is up into 13th place, but Lucas Groneveld, let's have another look there, under braking into the corner. It was Van Kuyk on the inside of him, and Van Kuyk doing well, Dan Variety, to keep it pointing in the right direction. So once again, we look at that restart. It was Heinrich who went deep into the corner. Larry Tenforder taking a lot less speed, and then down towards the Castrol Omega turn. There's a replay from the perspective of Larry Tenforder. Now, was there a little bit of a touch here from Lauren Heinrich into the Omega turn? And the stewards are investigating it. So, incident between car 25 and 3 under investigation. We did see Larry Tenforder pick up a penalty at the Sachsenring for contact. Now, is it possible that that same penalty might work in his favour, because Lauren Heinrich potentially putting the bumper in to get past, and now Luke Hartog finds a route on the inside of Larry Tenforder. So Luke Hartog challenging for that second place. It is a replay. And he didn't make it stick. So Luke Hartog back in third place and falling into the clutches of Bastian Buus. So that was a replay of something that had been happening while we were looking at other replays. It's still Lauren Heinrich from Larry Tenforder, Luke Hartog, Bastian Buus, Maurice Schuring, Huub van Eindhoven, Alex Fack. So we keep an eye on any penalties that might be incoming. Look at the lead that Lauren Heinrich has. It was 1.4 seconds last time around. I would suggest it's going to be quite a lot more than that the next time around. We have less than 2 minutes plus 1 lap of this race remaining, and Lauren Heinrich has been dominant in both qualifying and the race, apart from that brief moment where Larry Tenforder got in front. He crosses the line. Over 2 seconds is the lead between first and second. Lauren Heinrich, that is the gap. This is the view from Huub van Eindhoven in 6th place, our leading rookie driver. Behind him, fellow rookie contender Alex Fack and Alex Tauscher. Rookie championship leader Lorcan Hannafin has made his way up to 25th on the track and 8th in the rookie category, so he will get points in the rookie standings from there. Carlos Rivas still leads the Pro-Am race. Dylan Pereira, well, that was a little contact with Lucas Oertel, and that might well attract the attention of the stewards. So Dylan Pereira still very much in the wars. He was up to 19th place. So, message, car 25 and 3 to change positions. So, that means that car 25 will need to move in front of Lauren Heinrich. Larry Tenforder has been instructed to pass Lauren Heinrich. Bastian Buus sees the opportunity because he's found a route past Luke Hartog. So suddenly, the stewards get involved. Heinrich is penalised. He has to drop back behind car 25. He almost went from first to third, so we knew that incident was under investigation. What's happened to Luke Hartog? He's dropped all the way back to 6th place. But now Lauren Heinrich has all that work to do again. The stewards have adjudged that he made contact with Lauren Heinrich, that Lauren Heinrich made contact with Larry Tenforder to get past. And now Larry Tenforder leads the way. Bastian Boos is suddenly in this, as is Maurice Schering and Huub van Eindhoven. This race suddenly kicking off in the closing stages. The clock strikes 0. We have the 1 extra lap to run after that as well. But Larry Tenforder leading the way from Lauren Heinrich. Bastian Boos up to 3rd. I'd like to see again what happened to Luke Hartog, because Maurice Schering up to 4th and Huub van Eindhoven in 5th place. Hartog down into 6th. So clearly an issue went on there. So big drama as Lauren Heinrich, and there is Hartog getting it all wrong, sliding off the track. He manages to gather it up and keep it going, but suddenly he is falling into the clutches of Alex Fack. This is Lorcan Hannafin working his way back through, and now Alex Tauscher is past Alexander Fack. So Alex Fack, who was up into 7th place, now Alex Tauscher has found a route past. We can hardly keep up with this. We start the final lap of the race. The clock has struck 0. I think it's the final lap of the race. I was looking for confirmation of that. Yes, it is. It's Larry Tenforder who leads the way from Lauren Heinrich. Bastian Boos in 3rd place, and still the fighting goes on further back through the pack. I think the stewards are going to be burning the midnight oil tonight, trying to work out who to award penalties to. Larry Tenforder, Lauren Heinrich, Bastian Boos, Maurice Schering, Huub van Eindhoven, Luke Hartog has held on to 6th place. Carlos Rivas continues to lead in the Pro-Am category. Huub van Eindhoven leads in the rookie category. But still, Larry Tenforder leading the way. Lauren Heinrich, who'd done everything right, but a bit of contact, retaking the lead after the restart. And he was instructed to give that position away and allow Larry Tenforder back into the lead. Almost lost the position to Bastian Boos as well. And now, for the final time, the cars go down the waterfall in towards turn 13. It has been controversy between these two cars all season long. The controversy continues because Larry Tenforder comes out to turn 14 for the last time to receive the checkered flag and win race 13 of the season. A controversial race. Heinrich in 2nd, Bastian Boos in 3rd, Schering in 4th, Hartog just pipping Huub van Eindhoven for 5th place. And Huub van Eindhoven ahead of Alex Tauscher, Alex Fack, Jukka Honkavori and Lucas Oertel. Amazing stuff. Carlos Rivas finishing in 14th at the top of the Pro-Am category. Lorcan Hannafin finished in 24th place, and that was 7th in the rookie standings. And Dylan Pereira, eventually, where did he finish at the end of that? Still looking at the timing screens as we just look at a replay here. And this was that controversial moment where Lauren Heinrich just gave Larry Tenforder a bit of a bump into the Castrol Omega turn. Well, it looked fairly much like a slam dunk from the onboard. He got the lead, and the stewards said, no, that's not good enough, and you need to give that position back. And that is what's given Larry Tenforder the victory in this race. A dramatic race. Dylan Pereira, just to update you, did finish in 16th place. But a dramatic race 13 in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Larry Tenforder from Lauren Heinrich, Bastian Boos, Maurice Schering, Luke Hartog, Huub van Eindhoven, Alex Tauscher and Alex Fack rounding out the top 8. Huub van Eindhoven getting the top step in the rookie category. Alex Tauscher and Alex Fack 2nd and 3rd. Jukka Honkavori 9th on the road ahead of Lucas Oertel. Rudy van Buren, a good comeback from him. Ariel Levy, Dan van Kuyk and Carlos Rivas winning the Pro-Am race ahead of Jan-Erik Sloten and Dylan Pereira coming back from that drive-through penalty. Jesse van Kuyk in 17th ahead of Richard Wagner. Harold Prochik in 19th. Willem Meyer in 20th. A good drive from him from the back of the grid ahead of Sebastian Framer. Georgi Donchev, Lucas Groneveld, Lorcan Hannafin in 24th ahead of Jonas Greif. Christoph Langer, Kim Hauschid and Ahmad Al-Shahab. Jan Seifert, Zoran Spreng and Holger Harmsen, all non-finishers. So there hasn't been any race that hasn't been dramatic in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. It is always dramatic. The Lausitzring last time out was dramatic and controversial. Lauren Heinrich, well, he will probably not be too chuffed about that penalty that saw him having to surrender the lead. Larry Tenforder will be very pleased about that. He will have memories of race 2 at Lausitzring last time out, where he received a drive-through penalty that put him all the way to the back of the pack and out of the points. Making up for it here, though, keep fighting indeed, a maximum score for him, and he will close in on the championship lead. He will get 25 points. Lauren Heinrich will get 20. So that will make the gap 21 points between first and second, with still 75 points remaining this season. So still very much all to play for. Lauren Heinrich still leading the championship standings. Dylan Pereira is very much in it, but by a whisker, 48 points the difference. Bastian Boos mathematically in it as well. Luke Hartog now officially out of the running. He cannot catch the championship leader, 77 points adrift. Whoever said this was non-contact racing, look at the state of that back bumper. A lot of rubbing going on, and I'm not expecting to see that much in the way of celebration from Lauren Heinrich, because he clearly was the quickest man here today. He was the quickest in qualifying, and he will feel hard done by, I have no doubt. But the stewards doing what needs to be done in terms of contact. And we look at the back bumper of the Larry Tenforder car. It's the director making a point here. That's looking quite clean, he says. And there is the back of the number 25 car. And there is the back bumper of Lauren Heinrich car. Compare and discuss. I'm not getting involved. There's people who are better qualified to get involved in this, but the fight between Lauren Heinrich and Larry Tenforder has raged all season long. And I'm sure that when appealing the decision, Lauren Heinrich will be pointing at the state of his back bumper and comparing it to that of the number 25 car and saying, who, me? So it was going into the Castrol-Omega turn. It did look like there was a bit of contact, but onboard cameras can be deceiving. And the problem is, when you've given a penalty in a race, you can't really take it back again once the driver has dropped back. And Heinrich doing well to come home in second, because Bastian Boos and Luke Hartog had their eyes on stealing that away as well. And more comparisons, the front bumper of Larry Tenforder, in fact, the front quarter of Larry Tenforder's car, both front quarters. An awful lot of rubbing going on in that. And so, yes, I think our TV director making a few points as well. The incident between Larry Tenforder and Luke Hartog is to be investigated after the race, and that might go some way to explaining why Hartog dropped back. Again, we compare bodywork damage. I'm keeping well clear of all discussion forums after this. And it is for the stewards to take a look. They have angles that we don't see. It is a large stewarding room with many people involved, and they will have perspectives that we don't have. And they do not take decisions lightly. And they will be, no doubt, looking, and keep your eyes on the various websites for any news of any penalties. And of course, join us tomorrow. We'll give you any updates if there are any as we get ready for race 14. There's the man who's always there or thereabouts. He had a subdued qualifying this morning, and he's more than made up for it. He's got the third step of the podium. Bastian Buus, Lauren Heinrich, who looked like a dead cert winner of this race, second. Understandably not looking overly delighted. A handshake from the race winner, Larry Ten Forder, to the top step of the podium. A representative from GP Elite. Time for reflection. It has been the most competitive season of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany that I can remember. It has been the most controversial season of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany that I can remember. And the look on Lauren Heinrich's face says it all. Huri Isaac, the project manager of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, presenting the third place trophy to Bastian Buus. Michael Rieban, project manager of ADAC GT Masters, who are very much getting closer and closer to Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, announcing that GT Masters and Carrera Cup Germany will continue to be bedfellows in the following season. And the top step, the first place trophy going to Larry Ten Forder, and a trophy for the GP Elite. The drivers posing for photographs. Huri Isaac getting up on the scene as well. And great to see the affiliation between the ADAC and Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And the photos are taken. So, controversy has definitely been the word here. The celebrations commence. Well, Lauren Heinrich doesn't look like he's very much in the mood for celebrating, does he? He clearly feels as though he has been hard done by, and he exits stage right. We are going to try and take another look at what has occurred that has caused such controversy in this race. It was the restart. Now, Lauren Heinrich at the start goes deep into the corner. Larry Ten Forder comes through. The question is, was there contact or not into the Castrol Omega turn? The stewards think there was, but Larry Ten Forder goes deep. Lauren Heinrich retakes the lead. The rest of the cars queued up behind. And then we had that instruction that Lauren Heinrich was to drop back behind Larry Ten Forder. And Lauren Heinrich clearly does not agree with that decision. It has been controversial. This fight is going to continue into tomorrow. Larry Ten Forder versus Lauren Heinrich. This time is personal. Race 14 will be tomorrow. Who knows how this is going to end? It's going to be exciting. Join us tomorrow for this, the second race in the penultimate round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany season 2022. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.